So we all come to this present moment through what's happened to us in the past, our conditioning, but also our um, neurological makeup. What's here for us. Sometimes it's um, passed down. Our ways of being are passed down from generation to generation, and they're societal. And so, yeah, really interesting to explore our mind traps, our cognitive distortions, another name for it, and how we are in relation to ourselves and to other people. So I'm just going to go through a few of them, and some of them might really resonate with you, or some just might not be appropriate, or feel that you might not have a felt sense about it. But as I start to talk a little bit more about mind traps, you might be able to see other traps that you have as well. So these are patterns of thought. And often within our practice, we can start to see these patterns of thought arising. So sometimes we catastrophize. This is where something might happen in our lives and we project into the future, oh, this is going to get worse. If this happens, then it's just going to mount up more and more and compound. And our body responds in a way, as our minds have a capacity to travel forwards and backwards. Our bodies respond as if that catastrophic event is happening in the moment. And so there's a cascade of events that happen in the moment as we project into the future. And that's really unhealthy for the body. So noticing if you're somebody who catastrophizes, and see if you can just let go of those thoughts and bring yourself back to the present moment. Often we think that we should behave in certain ways. So we should be, I might say to myself, I should be a good mother and work hard and always have the house in order, and I should be able to do a number of different things. Well, who says I should be all those things to perfection? So just really exploring what your shoulds are. And each society have different sets of shoulds. So noticing what you have gleaned from your society, from your own conditioning, and maybe just shine a light on it and question, is that true? Is that real? As long as we're not hurting anybody else, or um, hurting ourselves, then are the shoulds realistic? A third one is being the eternal expert. So thinking that we should know the answer to everything. And for some, particularly people who are more perfectionists, they might do, or you might do, a lot of very extra work. Say if you've got to give in a piece of work or do something, you might, or give a presentation, you might do a host of other things in order to be able to feel confident in just delivering one piece. Also, I mean, that's not only related to work. It might be in the home that people look to you to know the answer to everything, where things are and what's coming next, and the plan and everything. So do you place that on yourself to be the eternal expert, to know the answer to everything? Because of course that's not real, is it? It's not realistic to know the answer to everything. Mind reading, often we think that we know what other people are thinking, and that places us in a position where maybe we change our behavior so they think differently about us. And that can be a real strain on us. So if we're constantly trying to shift and change ourselves in order to suit other people, that can lead us to not being so authentic and can really misalign us and feel pressure and stress on ourselves. We can exaggerate the negative and discount the positive. So when you go to bed at night and think about your day, do you think about the good things that you've done, or do you think about the things that you perhaps could have done better, or the silly mistakes you made, or what you didn't get done? So just having a time to consider whether, when you're reviewing things, whether you exaggerate the negative. And we do have a negativity bias, so it's quite natural to do that to a point, but downplay the positive. And again, I think that's very much a societal thing, is not to want to boost ourselves up too much. We relate it to our ego sometimes, but to get a balance between the negative and the positive to enable us to see more clearly. We can blame ourselves for the pain of others. So if I do this, that's going to cause them pain. But we can also sometimes blame others for our own pain. So if you didn't behave like that, I wouldn't be in so much difficulty. And yes, of course, to some extent that can be true, but do we overdo that? Apportion our unhappiness totally to other people and not take some responsibility for it ourselves? Or do we hold the pain of for other people and take that responsibility? Well, actually, it's not warranted. So yeah, sometimes we can get that out of balance. So just reflecting on any other mind traps that you might have. It might be black and white thinking, or feeling of not being good enough, or many others besides. I mean, there's well over 100, and so very unique to you. Perhaps take some time to write them down and reflect on them and see how they inform your behavior, your thinking, your stress levels, and impact on your life and your relationships with yourself and others. Thank you.